seems to work on you. Yeah, you always make me feel like home. Yeah, you never leave my thoughts alone. Yeah, you're the reason I'm going out of my mind. I just can't stop thinking about you. All that I crave when you're away, nights are sleepless. Do we need space? Yeah, maybe a break. Boy, you're my weakness. Give and we take, the love that we make, it's my favorite drug. Too caught up in your love. I've been trying to forget, but you won't let me. Something in my brain wants you. I've been hanging by myself, asking for help, but nothing seems to work on you. Yeah, you always make me feel like home. Yeah, you never leave my thoughts alone. Yeah, you're the reason I'm going out of my mind. I just can't stop thinking about you. You got me feeling some type of way. You make me wanna stay in all day. You're the reason I can't get out my head. I just can't stop thinking about you. 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 I just can't stop thinking about you.
Sound check, sound check. Welcome everyone back to another episode of the LANCESCURV Live morning show. But I hate to call it a morning show because it's a worldwide thing. It's morning somewhere in the world. So I'm trying to get away from that. We'll just call it LANCESCURV Live. Very, very laid back mood right now. I guess you can hear it in my voice. You know, I'm amped a lot, and other times I'm very introspective. And needless to say, I am a deep thinker. But okay, good, good. Maybe you didn't hear. I'm using my phone again. I woke up this morning and went to the computer and realized that my internet ran out. I was like, oh no. Again, here in Ghana, you just don't get internet like in America and possibly the UK where you pay for a month and have unlimited. It's like filling up a gas tank. So you have to go and make sure as the gas tank gets low, you monitor it. But lots of times I forget to do that. I'm so caught up in what I'm doing here, and that's just the way it is. But other than that, everything's good. I'm focused. Got a lot of stuff done yesterday, and I plan to do the same thing today. And the journey here for me is splendid. And I don't see any speed bumps or any blockages in the road ahead of me. So I'm very calm in how I execute what I do. Now, today I wanted to speak about something that many people are going through, and I just want to reinforce that spirit of confidence inside of them because there are a lot of people out here who have a lot in front of them and they're ambitious, but deep down to the core, the confidence may be lacking. And there's several reasons for that. Okay. But the title of this, I'll say it for those who don't know it, who just stumbled upon this particular show, is Your Value Doesn't Decrease based on someone's inability to see your worth. I'm going to say that again so it sinks in. Your value does not decrease based on someone's ability to see your worth, right? That's what it is. Let me straighten this phone out and just go to the comment section, although I won't be focusing on the comment section as I flow. I just want to connect our minds together today and inspire somebody because that's what it's all about. We all need a little inspiration sometime. Sometimes we feel a little low. Sometimes things happen to us in our day that take us off track. And just sometimes our gas tank is low. The enthusiasm may not be there. We might be a little drained for different reasons. And there's so many different reasons in this world and on this plane to actually be drained. Now it's giving me a hard time to get to the comment section. This phone is really acting slow. So, yes, Sister Oyala, I see you. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for being here. This is not going to be a long one today. I got a few things I got to take care of, but and if for some reason this thing cuts off because this phone is acting up, give me a second to get on back. But many of us, not all of us, but many of us, we struggle with the confidence on the inside, and we struggle with knowing our value, and we depend on those external to us and around us for our sense of self-worth. And lots of times when people figure this out around you, they tend to understand that now they can control you. They'll give you just a little bit of acknowledgement, but after that, you're left to your own devices. And so for me, I never really had this problem from young in anything that I did. And I'm not saying I've never felt down before, but I've been programmed a certain way by my parents to keep me in a certain state of mind. Deborah Costin, it's nice to see you here. Thank you so much. She's on Facebook, so YouTube family, they won't see you unless you come on through to YouTube directly. Yes, I am laying in the bed and I'm very relaxed. This is a whole different mentality here today. Me, I'm vast. There's many branches on my tree. You might get one branch and I'm amped up more, another one I'm more sentimental, another one I'm more aggressive. It all depends, but we're just going to keep on flowing with these shows at this time every single day. Well, actually Monday through Friday and possibly on the weekends. Like I said, I was reared a certain way and they pre-programmed me to deal with the crap that was yet to come in my life, as we all have to deal with haters, naysayers, people who don't have confidence of their own. So they don't want to see you have confidence. With these types of people, your confidence is a curse. Your inner confidence is a put down, and your inner confidence forces them to look within to see what they don't have. And instead of cultivating the inner confidence in themselves or finding a way to help it grow, their job becomes to tear you down, smear your character, and keep you in a place of stagnation from the lack of activity and movement towards your goals. And to me, I hate to see that. That's just plain wrong. See, those people who work hard to keep you from understanding your self-worth, they have none themselves. But you should not depend on anybody external to you for that. It should be something that is self-generating from within. And that's what my parents kickstarted with inside of me, that you're worthy, you're talented, you're gifted, even over and above what you may know. You will find abilities and talents and gifts from within every day of your life moving forward as the years go by. There are things in you that you don't even realize yet. So how dare somebody come along and try not to see your self-worth, or their inability, like I said, but I should also add another word in there, the inability and refusal. You see, there are people who see the greatness in you, and instead of encouraging it, Even when you do have the confidence from within, they refuse to acknowledge it. They refuse to acknowledge it. Isn't that something? That's terrible. And they don't want to see you blossom. And those are the types of people that when they have something that they're doing and they blossom with it, they do it in an arrogant way. They do it in a way not to motivate those around them, but they do it in a way to step on people and keep them, the people, in their place. Well, who are you to decide what place a person is going to be in? And I find lots of times on these jobs, you know, dog eat dog, shark infested atmospheres called jobs. You're there to make money, but other people that are there sometimes to crush you, even to crush you beyond the confines of the job, but to crush you to the point where your home life and your personal life is damaged. You know, and these people are jealous. And there's another thing I want to say and drive home. People are so jealous of you because your character carries more weight than their title. So have you ever been on a job where you've had a supervisor or someone who is higher than that, someone who is an admin, but they see you and you just got on the job or you hold a position less than them in rank, and every chance they get, they give you an attitude. Every chance they get, they want to make you feel as though your job is in jeopardy. They don't want you to feel settled. They don't want you to crack a smile on the job because your character is intimidating to them. See, they may have the title over you in that hierarchy, but your character is so strong, your resilience is so strong, your ability to have drive and focus intimidates them because they feel as though one day you're coming for their job. And that might be the last thing on your mind. You see what I mean? But your value, you have to know your value. When you sit down and go for a job interview and you sit down, yes, you're going to do everything right. But when they start to talk salary or hourly wage, sometimes we punk out because we don't want to be assertive or we don't really see a value. And lots of times that person or that job, they want to look at you less than what you are, even though they know they got a good deal in you. So it's up to you in life because people can sniff this out. They can see it so easy in you if you don't know your worth. And most of the time, they're not going to give it to you. They're not going to give you your props. And you know what? Don't look for it from them. Generate it your own self. Even when you feel a little down, know that you were put on this earth for a purpose. No matter how large or how small, no matter how public, no matter how private, you were put here for a purpose. And you can't deny that. Like I said, I'm going to say it again until the cows come home. My own personal analogy about the toolbox. See, all of us are like tools in a box, in a toolbox. And we all get carried to the job site. And some of the tools never get used because there was no need to use that particular tool at the job site. Now you have the screwdriver, you have the hammer, you have the pair of pliers. Those are the things that are usually used a lot when you, Brother KC, I got your message. I see you. I saw your message pop up on the phone. So in that toolbox, the tools that don't get used that much may think that they're not loved. They think that they don't have any value because once every 15 or 20 times on different job sites, they might get pulled out for a second, used and put back in the box. And now you have the other ones. Like I said, the pliers, the screwdriver, the hammer, they're always on top because they're always used. When you open up the toolbox, those are the tools that are always on top. It doesn't mean that those particular tools have more value than you, right? Because the least amount of times that you're used on the job site actually means you have a more specific purpose than a general hammer, pliers, or screwdriver. You see what I mean? So when you're finally pulled out, it is usually for something very unique. And guess what? What you do, the pliers, the hammer, and the screwdriver can't do. So when you're used the less amount of times, or when you're complimented less, or given acknowledgement less, you have more value and more worth because what you do even if it's something that's not as popular, even if it's something that's not as public. When you're pulled out, it's a very, very special task indeed. You might be that electrical tool that you stick in the socket to see how much voltage is in there. The hammer can't do that now, can it? The screwdriver or the pliers can't do that. Now they have their worth, but just because you don't get acknowledged by the outside world doesn't mean you don't have great value. And sometimes in the present day, it's not for you to come out as that tool, but you're supposed to always know your value. Always. We all have the seeds of greatness inside of us. It's up to us to cultivate those seeds and plant them right to make them grow and see the value in it and realize that your purpose is not the same purpose as someone else's. You understand? So this is a very important thing that we need to know, because in the social media day that we're in, where people woke up to luxury cars in the shopping mall and stand next to it and have their friends take a picture to show the world that they ride in a luxury car, when in essence they took the bus. Now, I'm not saying there's any problem with taking the bus. I take the bus all the time. But we live in a plastic world where there's so much false bravado, so much, as the term goes back in New York City, so much fronting. You're fronting and putting up a front like all is well. Now, all might be well, and I want things to be well with everybody. But why is it that you have the need to put up this facade when in essence you put down the person who has value, but here you are standing on something superficial? See me, I want to set the foundation. I do not care if you tell me I'm valuable or not. I know I'm valuable. You can't convince me of anything less. I had lots of that going on when I first came out here to Accra, Ghana, not from the people who are already here, but many of those who arrived with me. I saw the envy, I saw the jealousy, I saw the need to put me down and say things subtly, and I never went for it. And this is why your confidence will drive others around you away, because they cannot stand to see you rise. See, I know I'm going to rise. And it may not be a way of rising in a worldly level. See, because we can rise in different ways. It may be where a person can rise in their value to a family where the outside world doesn't see it. But that family member is very much valuable in undergirding and holding that family together. They're rising. You could be on a job and be so supportive of all the new hires who come in. And years later, they will all say, when I first started, you were the one who made me feel confident. You were the one who stayed over the time on this job after you punched out to show me some things that I was confused in while other people chuckled. Know your value, but also know the value and acknowledge the value in other people. We don't have too much of that these days in the Black community. We feel as though those around us who are new in some type of endeavor, a job, or an area of expertise, that, oh, they got to find out for themselves. I'm not going to help them. I had to find out myself, and I'm not doing nothing for them. Well, that's wrong. It's up to you to help plant the seed, because that person will never forget you. And sometimes you do things for people and they end up being haters towards you. That doesn't take away what you brought to them, and they will one day still acknowledge what you did. When you do things for people, you never look for anything back in return. But just the same way, when it comes time to understanding your self-worth, you never ever look for anybody to give it to you, because they know, they see it. And the ones that are trying to discourage you the most are the ones that see it the most, but they're fearful of your rise because they don't feel as though they have any value within themselves. And that's the thing. So lots of times you have to be careful who you let into your head and who you let into your world, because many people have hidden agendas and secret motivations. And so when you're on a mission, you are on that mission. You don't stop for anything. You keep going. And most people are too distracted with foolish things to keep the focus going. Because once you keep that focus going, building up your sense of self-worth, which may not be at its highest right now, but you prove to yourself by doing, prove to yourself by the stick-it-to-itiveness that you have every single day of your life to cultivate this thing, and you walk upright, not in arrogance, not in false bravado, but in a quiet confidence that will keep you going through rough times, that will keep you going through the put downs, that will keep you going through those attempts to tear you down. Like I tell people who try to rip me apart or tear me apart, I say, listen, you wasting your time. My parents built me up from young, and you're going to have to take damn near 60 years of your life to tear this down, and even more so, because I'm built indestructible that way. When people say that you can't do it, you have to know that you can do it. When people say that it's not happening and talk behind your back, you have to say through your actions it's going to happen. And time after time after time, through your actions and through your accomplishments that you convince yourself with, it tears them down with their negativity, and they have to give in eventually. Now, I hit something here on the screen, and I don't want to knock it, but I just want you all to understand that everybody who tries to appear confident may not be that way. We need to reach out to help people who they'll admit it later on and say, "Listen, man, you helped me out a whole lot because I just didn't know what I was doing." You know what I mean? And we all have that, but we have to also have the spirit of embracing the unknown. See, I always say, people sometimes they're fearful. They're moving to a new job, they're going to a new city, they're going into a new relationship, whatever it may be. They may have a little less than what they had before and have to make it on less. It's the unknown. How am I going to make it? What's waiting for me? Well, listen, stick around a little bit. You'll learn, because everything that is the unknown will be known. Everything that is the unknown will be known. Even those of us who may fear death, we will know what's happening when that transition comes. So why sit around and worry about that when it's going to come and you can't stop it? So let's live life to the utmost and make the best of this. And when that brief time of transition, when it happens, it'll happen so quick. And you'll say to yourself, why did I worry about this thing for so many years? You see? And that's the one thing. Embrace the unknown and always keep yourself a little bit to grow that self worth, because you want to see growth every day. Keep yourself out of the comfort zone. It doesn't mean leap out of it completely, but always remain a little uncomfortable in your life. And what do I mean? Doesn't mean you want to trade that nice mattress that you have in for something that's rough, or that nice couch that you sit on when you watch TV for something that's cheap and hard and uncomfortable. No, but it's in not being in the comfort zone is when we grow. If you're studying something, you study a tutorial to learn how to do something new, or there's something that you've been avoiding because it seemed like it was too hard, you have to understand that the only way is to challenge yourself. The only way, when the naysayers are saying you can't do it or you have a little bit of self-doubt, run after the things that bring you self-doubt. Run after the things that you may feel you're weaker in. Make it a strong point. When the world laughs at you, laugh with them, because their laughter is driving you to greatness. And you're laughing too, because it's like, fool, you don't understand. You'll motivate me to do this. So what if you're a little bit embarrassed? If you can embrace being embarrassed a little bit and understand that it's a temporary thing until you change it, you'll use embarrassment to make a change. Maybe your wardrobe is not up to par. Maybe something about you physical is not up to par. Well, leave out of that comfort zone, stop hiding in it, and make something happen. These are the things that help to self-generate your self-worth instead of depending on others. If you depend on others, you'll be waiting a long time. And for those who just came in, the title is Your Value Doesn't Decrease Based on Someone's Ability or Inability to See Your Worth. And I'll say it again with the other word. Your value doesn't decrease based on someone's refusal to see your worth. How many of us, and I never experienced this because I had parents that encouraged me, but I've understood through the experiences of others how they've been damaged from young because of the lack of support from their parents. They may work hard at doing something and go to mommy and daddy and say, how do you think I'm doing? Oh, it's not good enough. Oh, it's terrible. Why can't you be like this one? And why can't you be like that one? And when you're young, your mold is not set. You know, when you're setting concrete and the molds are there, but the concrete, you can't pull them off yet because the concrete is still hardening up. Well, when we're young, these things affect us. And I know many individuals, especially one that his father rejected him and now he's bitter through his whole life. The father's dead and gone, and he's still bitter at life, and it affects his relationships with people, and it just messes everything up. Now, if this is the situation, you're going to have to go back and visit that time when you were put down, or deal with the fact that you had a parent or someone you looked up to. It could be an older cousin, it could be a school teacher, that they just struck you down and you felt like you never had a chance in life because they struck you down. And trust and believe, things that happen to us in our younger years, things that happen to us in our childhood affect us for the rest of our lives, whether we know it or not. We can bury it as much as we want, but until we go back to that place that maybe the world doesn't know about and deal with that situation, conquer it and untangle it, it's always going to ride our backside and make it where we don't perform to the maximum as we should. You go back to that time and you visit it as an adult. And this is a wonderful thing to do because we all have that inner child that needs that guidance. And sometimes we have to escort ourselves. See yourself as that child at that time when you were hurt. And now you're going to be that person as an adult to go back and save you. You see what I mean? Go back and save you and replay that scenario right up into that point and see yourself as an adult going back to correct that parent, that cousin, that older person, that teacher, saying, hey, this is not right. This person here, this child here was put here for a purpose. They have great things in them. And because you're living a disgruntled, non-productive life and you feel you don't have any self-worth, you're not going to transfer that over to this child. This child is worthy. This child is loved because I love this child. Because we all have the inner child inside of us. You know, we are adults. Yes, we are. But we all have the scars from that childhood if we have any like that. You see what I mean? It's a beautiful thing when we can go back and save ourselves instead of seeing ourselves just as that and feeling as though we can't change it. You know, and speak to that person in your mind or go out in the park where they don't think you're crazy, right? Or you're inside and talk to that person and say, how dare you? Look at me now. I've accomplished so much now and I've walked with this pain and I'm going to accomplish more when I get rid of that shitty attitude that you tried to put on me. And this goes for coworkers, friends, anything. You got to go back in time for that and conquer that. And then turn around and affirm that I am through with you. I am done with you. You have no more space in my head. I'm now going to piss you off and go on to do great things in my life. I'm done. And if you got to go the whole day saying that under your breath or the next couple of days saying that, understand that you're done. You take control of your life. You grab you grab that young version of yourself by the hand and you see it and you're walking away from that person and you tell them, I'm going to show you how to be great. I'm going to show you how to manifest those seeds of greatness inside of you. You have to do the mental mechanics to straighten yourself out. Look how many vehicles are out on the side of the road, perfectly good, but it may be something slightly off or needs repair. Just something slight. How many times have we gone to the mechanic thinking that what we have to deal with is something major and it's just something minor? And they say, oh, how much am I going to charge? Well, the part is only $24.99. I'm going to charge you $20 to put it in. Here you are with $1,000 in your pocket thinking it was something major. The little things can have a big effect to stop your vehicle from driving down the road of life. You have to understand that. And that's something that we let little things break us. And they are little things. And sometimes they are major. But in the whole scope of your greatness, it's little. You weren't put here to fail. You weren't put here on this earth to have no value at all. And like I said, I see too many people walking around and you can tell that their self-worth is less than zero. And so I always try to encourage somebody when they are feeling this way, because you know what? We, especially in America, when we're feeling down and some half stranger asks us how we're doing. How you doing, buddy? Oh, I'm fine. Now we know you don't want to really tell the world what you're going through, what your state of mind is, but you know, you don't have to say that you're down. You can say something, even acknowledge it. You know, I'm challenged right now, but I'm a superstar and I'm in the process of overcoming all that's put in front of me. That's positive. And that reflects on them and how they look at you. Not that you're depending on that, but they say, wow. Because that person who's asking you, how are you feeling? They might be the one who's feeling down. And if you say fine, that's not enough for them. But if you say it that way, that I'm challenged right now. And the challenge is something that I'm going to surmount. It's a mountain that other people may say is too high, but I'm not just going to walk over the bad boy. I'm going to fly over it. And if I can't fly over it, I'm walking around it, or I'll go through it or dig under it and get through. But I'm going to put that mountain behind me eventually. And once you talk to yourself this way every single day, you'll have a wealth of enthusiasm in that bank of confidence. Now, I will say, in real life, I do have a challenge. And the challenge right now is that as I speak, I know that I have some type of virus, and it's a stomach virus, and I feel physically weak, but I'm mentally strong. And so we know what that means. You know, they talk about please don't squeeze the shaman. I'm going through shaman so fast because of the stomach virus that I have. I'm not claiming it, but that's what it is. And I'm going to keep this one short today. I'm going to take a nap. I'm still going to go up on the rooftop. I'm still going to record some things and work on my website. And I'm going to rest a little bit and I'll make up for it tomorrow or even later. I know I'll be feeling a little better later on. I took some medicine for it. But there's a young lady from London that we're tentative on our interview with her. And she has different variables in her day, but she wants to make sure that we're going to do this. It may be later on, it may be tomorrow or 2 days, but we'll leave it open. And it might be during one of our shows or at 10 o'clock here, Eastern Standard Time on the East Coast. And it may not, it may be something in the evening. But I am going to sign off. I you know, feel a little bit. It's not really from the work ethic. It's really, you know, something that I ate and I know exactly what it was. And I'm feeling a little bit under that way, but my brain is ticking. So I still want to get some work done. Still want to get a whole lot of work done, you know. But it's a beautiful thing because the momentum from which I'm riding on, if I take my foot off the gas pedal, things are still going to be going for years and years to come. So anyway, I'm going to sign off right now. I'm not going to really mess around with these little buttons on this phone because they take so long to pop things through. But I'm glad I got up and I got my internet back on. I saw that it was conked out, went and paid for it, topped it off to the point where I'm good for the next 2 months. And I just want to thank you all for your support and your love and your enthusiasm. But I'm already in the bed and I'm going to just, after I sign off, I'm going to rest a little bit, put more fluids in my body, and then I wake up and start attacking things again. You know, exactly, Miko. I'm done with it. Yes, Deborah, thank you so much. I'm going to sign off right now. Bear with me. I'm not going to play any fancy music or the graphics, whatever. I'm just going to pop it off. And I guarantee that I will have some stuff for you later on and everything is going to be all right. But understand, don't let anybody determine your self-worth, even if they refuse to acknowledge it or they have an inability to acknowledge it. It's there. You're put here for a reason. And I know most of the people here understand that, but there might be 1 or 2 people out here who needed that boost to hear that word, to understand it comes from within. And if nobody feeds it into you, you feed it into yourself. LANCESCURV out. I love you all. Take care. Peace. We'll get together later on. Thank you for understanding. Peace.